He seems to be very good at everything, and Brad doesn't know if he's being genuine in some of the stories that he's telling because they all seem a bit far-fetched. And they all are pretty much true, except for the fact that, you know, he's not good in the kitchen. But, you know, whether it be dancing or singing or, you know, basketball or you know, martial arts, any of those things, he seems pretty remarkable. Like I said, we had 6 minutes to get in there and shoot it, and you know, had multiple cameras, and you know, Kobe came out a little bit earlier, was a great sport. We were able to clean up the scene the other days that we had at the arena, but you know, no, you had to make sure that everything was pretty spot on. And Will did such a great job playing out the scene because people, you know, had, you know, phones and stuff, and they put it out on YouTube. Sean's great. I mean, you know, I didn't know what to expect. McKay and them were basically saying how cool he was and how easy he is to work with, but knows what he wants, knows how to get it, and doesn't waste too much time in between. Always has something really funny to kind of add or take it into another direction, and allowing us to improvise and try things, and you know, but smart. You know, understands that at the core of it, you know, there's real heart to the story. And you know, as much as we want to push the envelope with the humor and the edginess and the humor, we also want to make sure that, you know, we're hitting those dramatic moments because, like you said earlier, you know, people can identify with this kind of story. You're going to be conflicted when figuring out who you want to root for. I think it's basically just what your taste is, you know. I mean, I usually I lean more towards the bad guy, but I think I'm playing it in a way where, I don't know, it's hard to root against the guy because he is being sincere and he genuinely loves Brad. And they both learn a lot from each other. So I think at the end you want to root for them to come together as opposed for one guy to win over the other. They called and said, hey, would you like to work with Will again? And we absolutely had a blast together, and I just thought, you know, it was a really funny part, very different dynamic. So, you know, anytime I get to work with these guys, you know, I just jump at the opportunity because, you know, not too many guys out there like him. Working with Will is just such a pleasant experience. He's just such a nice guy. You know, his comedy comes from a good place. He just enjoys making people laugh. But I don't approach it any differently than I do a drama. I try to be as believable in the character as possible. It's just these circumstances are pretty outrageous, so a lot of humor comes from that, and also from the level of commitment to the circumstances. But you know, I try to just make Dusty come to life and make it as realistic as possible, and try to stay in that headspace pretty much throughout the whole process.
Did you know that Star Trek Beyond is the first Star Trek film ever to be shot mostly in Vancouver, British Columbia, and not in Hollywood? All existing sets, including those of the Starship Enterprise, will be rebuilt from scratch in a large studio in Vancouver. Do you think we will be able to tell the difference? Click here for more cool videos. Thanks for watching.